Hey guys, welcome back. This is day 2 of working on the Factory 5 818. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off these body panels again that I just clamped on. And once I'm done with that, I was going to look into finishing draining out the coolant, which I began yesterday, and then decided as the evening went on that I'd finish that today because I came up with an idea to reduce the amount of coolant that I actually need to bleed out of the system. Okay, so what I've done is I've jacked up the car. I put it on 2 jack stands. I used this floor jack, this standard floor jack to jack it up. I'll show you what I did here. I put rags on the jack stands, not to damage the nice powder-coated frame that Factory 5 gave us. Jacked up the middle, did both sides. That'll give me space to reach this coolant. And
See an app called Discord. You could try searching the App Store.
shut up, Siri. I'm wondering if there's a way that you can see inside of what I'm doing here. Maybe this is the best view. Maybe something like that. Alright, this might get messy, so hats coming up. There I go. This is proving to be no trivial task. Alright, I'm going to pause on that for now. Get back to it when I have a better idea. For now, I'll take some more. I'm going to take some pictures of some wiring and start undoing some wiring. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just going through taking pictures of some of the wiring harness that needs to get unplugged and removed before the engine can come out. And one of the things that I came across was the air filter. It has a air filter. I don't know what that is. Some sort of sensor right here. But this needs to get unplugged. This goes directly into the wiring harness right here, which is plugged and connected to the frame of the vehicle. So this is going to need to get unplugged right here. Just like so. Tuck that in right here. And then I'm actually going to remove the air filter for now, just to make sure it doesn't get damaged or dinged up in the process of removing the engine. To plug up fuel lines when you disconnect fuel lines so that no gunk or junk gets in the fuel, because you do not want anything in your cylinder. So the bolt right here on the turbo. Alright, so I got the engine actually hoisted out finally. I ended up disconnecting the coolant. You can see right there and right there, those two hoses. Right here and here. Those were still connected on the backside right here to here and up here. I had to disconnect those. I ended up not having to take the turbo out, but I did have to disconnect it, loosen it up in order to get into a bolt. Now, the seal that's dripping is right over here. You can see this oil right there from where it was dripping. So this is the cam seal that needs to be replaced. So I need to get this on an engine stand. I need to clamp everything in place so nothing gets out of timing. And once I do that, we'll look into, like I said at the beginning, looking into getting some more turbos, a different turbo I mean, and fixing that downpipe issue too, because it wasn't lined up like it needed to be. But the engine's out. This needs to get rolled back in the garage. I need to get this on an engine stand. And in order to do that, I need the transmission off. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to get the transmission off. I might lower this down to the ground, put it on some stands, and then work on getting the transmission off by itself. But here it is. This is the Subaru 4-cylinder turbo engine from the 2004 WRX that uses the donor. So, I'm probably a mess. I'm not that bad, but I'm tired and it's not super, it's like in between hot and cold right now, so I'm wearing a sweater and it's like I'm hot. I'm like kind of tired of doing this work for like the last 4 days in a row. Working on the Jeep and this, and trying to like make the videos too. It's like a lot of work. So I think I'm gonna roll the car back in, put everything else away, leave a spot for the engine that I can put in the garage once I get it off of this gantry setup. But this made it really easy. I had to disconnect everything, jacked it up. Every time I cinched it up a little bit, I found something that I needed to jig out of the way, or rotate the engine or do something. But it did go in there fairly easily. I didn't have to rip out any of the wiring, any of the tubing. It all stayed where it needed to be. So that's enough. Always make sure you disconnect everything before you take the engine out. You don't want to rip any wires, you don't want to rip any grounds, you don't want to rip any tubes, because that'll just make a whole lot of work for you later on when you're trying to put it all back together. So let me roll this in the engine. Let me roll this in the garage. We'll roll. And there's weird ass people driving down my street. We're gonna roll this in the garage. Get everything else cleaned up, put away. So when my dad comes home, he can give me an idea about what we're gonna do to get the engine disconnected from the transmission. Since this is my dad's garage, I gotta be careful and make sure I'm doing stuff that he likes, the way he wants it. So I'm gonna throw anything back on the engine that I can find, like any bolts. This piece that goes into the turbo right here, I'm gonna put that back on. It goes right here so that I don't lose it. And then, any bolts or anything like that, anything miscellaneous. I don't think there's many of those. there's 1 or 2 or 3 that go right here, 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 that connect the downpipe to the rest of the exhaust. But other than that, you know, not much else going on, so we'll see what's going on.